DuPont innovation lowers LCOE by increasing cell efficiencies and system lifetime while reducing total system cost. Materials matter.
Hello and welcome to the PV Tech Newscast. In the headlines this week, IRENA say renewable energy jobs could number almost 17 million by 2030. The US ITC agreed to SolarWorld's anti-dumping investigation request. Martifer Solar US file for bankruptcy. Hanergy begin building a 3 gigawatt CIGS thin film plant, and the German cabinet approve a new charge on self-consumed power. Renewable energy industries could generate 11 million new jobs worldwide by 2030, according to a report from the International Renewable Energy Agency. The agency's report, Renewable Energy and Jobs, predicts that as deployment gathers pace, jobs in the sector could hit 16.7 million by 2030, up from 5.7 million today. According to IRENA, solar PV and biofuels currently account for the most jobs in renewable energy, with around 1.33 million employees each. IRENA highlighted PV as one of the sector's strongest performers, having seen a 13-fold increase in employment within 5 years. However, the agency predicts that that rate of growth will not last, with employment in PV levelling out at around 2 million, split between manufacturing and deployment. Bioenergy will emerge as the biggest employer, accounting for over 9 million jobs by 2030. According to the report, policy stability from national governments will be essential in providing the necessary investor confidence to allow renewable energy deployment to continue growing. This should be coupled with forward-looking training and education policies to ensure the workforce has the necessary skills to capitalize on emerging opportunities. The US International Trade Commission has agreed to SolarWorld's request to investigate anti-dumping and anti-subsidy loophole claims over PV products imported from China. According to the ITC, a preliminary determination can be expected by the 14th of February. Should the investigation determine injury has occurred, the US Department of Commerce would issue a countervailing duty judgment sometime in March and a preliminary anti-dumping ruling sometime in June. The SolarWorld petition picked on the widely used practice by Chinese module producers of purchasing solar cells made by Taiwanese cell manufacturers for PV modules later imported into the US. The original investigations that concluded with heavy duties on imported PV modules back in October 2012 related specifically to solar cells produced in China. The broader investigation now being undertaken could have significantly wider implications for the global PV industry. Other than major solar cell suppliers in Taiwan, US-based downstream PV companies such as SolarCell and SunEdison are major importers of modules fabricated in China but use non-Chinese solar cells for rooftop, commercial and utility-scale projects. Ahead of the ITC's decision to investigate the loopholes, the Chinese government imposed new tariffs on polysilicon producers importing the material into China, which included key global suppliers with production plants in the US. China's Ministry of Commerce said that the two countries should start a dialogue and negotiate a settlement, as both countries are supporting the adoption of clean energy technologies and solar photovoltaics in particular, with both countries becoming leaders in the field. The ministry also claimed that after the first ITC case and the imposition of duties in November 2012, the US was to blame for throwing the whole industry chain into chaos. However, the preliminary determination by the ITC could include a decision to negotiate a settlement with China rather than automatic new duties. The US arm of Portugal-based PV developer Martifer Solar has filed for bankruptcy. Martifer Solar USA filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy with a Nevada court following failed negotiations with creditors, the company said. The Chapter 11 filing with the Nevada Bankruptcy Court said the company had estimated assets of $10 million to $50 million. A meeting between creditors is to be held on the 2nd of February, and the claims deadline is the 21st of May. Martifer Solar USA volunteered for reorganization and said in a statement the company could meet obligations to third parties, although it would need to adjust its repayment schedule. Hanergy Solar said it will start construction of a planned 3 gigawatt CIGS thin film manufacturing complex in Kaufadian in the Hebei province of China in March, with tool install starting by the end of the year. Hanergy Solar is establishing a subsidiary, Hebei Cafadian Hanergy Photovoltaic Company Limited, to own and operate the new complex. Initial plans are to build 2 separate production lines with a total nameplate capacity of 600 megawatts. Hanergy Solar said one of the turnkey lines with a nameplate capacity of 300 megawatts would use Meosole-based CIGS sputtering process technology, while the second line, with a further 300 megawatts, would employ Celebro's co-evaporating manufacturing process technology. Both CIGS manufacturers were acquired by Hanergy Group, with their technology licenses transferred to Hanergy Solar and subsidiaries. The initial 600 megawatt Phase 1 construction and equipment spending is estimated at approximately $780 million. Hanergy Solar is banking on both CIGS technologies providing the highest conversion efficiencies of any thin film technology, while the large-scale operation would provide the lowest manufacturing costs, enabling CIGS to become a major mainstream technology and position Hanergy Solar as the leading global CIGS supplier. And finally, the German cabinet approved a new charge on self-consumed solar power on Wednesday. While European policy watchers had their gaze fixed firmly on Brussels this week, the new solar tax was approved in Berlin. Those using their own solar-generated electricity will be required to pay a 4.5 euro cent per kilowatt-hour charge. The levy will only apply to new rooftop installations above 10 kilowatts fitted from August this year. Gunter Hackel, president of the country's solar trade group BSW Solar, compared the situation to taxing people for food they grow in their garden in order to subsidise farmers. The plan was originally hinted at as part of the coalition agreement between Angela Merkel's ruling party and the SPD. Plans for a charge on existing systems have been discussed, but it is unclear as to whether or not they will be implemented. And that's all for this edition. Make sure you tune in next Tuesday, and in the meantime you can keep up to date with all the very latest news via our website and our Twitter feed. Thanks for watching.